ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। यत्र योगेश्वरो कृष्णः यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिः ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। So yes, today we are going to make a beginning of satsangam on Srimad Bhagavatam. Suman had a good idea to come up with one of the stories which is of Dhruva. We will do it that way. We'll see how it goes. Rather than starting from the beginning of Bhagavatam, this is one way of doing it, as it is a very vast scripture to go through. So perhaps we will do it this way. Over to you, Suman, if you can narrate the story of Dhruva, and then as I shared the link of Bhagavatam shlokas. We can go through them as well.
So the story that I'm going to be narrating, this is basically from the uh, Kamala Subramaniam's version of Bhagavatam, which is a slightly condensed version of the actual Bhagavatam text.
సుమన్ గారు,
Yeah.
నిగమ కల్పతరోర్గళితం ఫలం చెప్తారా? అది వ్యాసుని శుకుడి గురించి దండం పెట్టుకోవడం. బిఫోర్ వి స్టార్ట్, నిగమ కల్పతరోర్గళితం ఫలం సుఖముఖాద్ అమృతం ద్రవ సంయుతం పిబత భాగవతం రసమాలయం ముహురహో రసికా భువి భావుకాః. శ్రీ పరమాత్మనే నమః. Please continue. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So the story basically starts. There was a king called Uttanapada, and he had two wives, Suruchi and Suniti. So both of these wives had two children, one child each. So Suniti's child was called Dhruva, and Suruchi's child was called Uttama. So one day, what happens is the king was playing with Uttama, and Uttama's mother Suruchi happens to be the king's favorite, and he was quite infatuated with her. And Dhruva, upon seeing that the king was playing with his brother, he attempts to go there and play with the king. And he also attempts to go and sit on the lap of the king. Seeing this, Suruchi doesn't like this. Suruchi basically stops Dhruva from going to the king, and she gets angry at him and says that you are really unfortunate that you are not my son. That is why you do not have the privilege to go and sit on the lap of the king. This is not your fault, but you just don't have the right to go to your king or have this conversation with him, play with him. And so she stops him there, and Dhruva, when he hears these words, he was really hurt. He was insulted, and he was angrily looking at the king, who saw everything, who saw his son being insulted, but he never actually stops the queen from insulting the child. Dhruva was basically just 5 years old when this incident happens with him. So he was really like depressed, and he runs to his mother Suniti to describe what has happened, and he just ran to her and he begins crying. So Suniti hears what happened, and she also wept, started weeping. And Suniti, in the Bhagavatam, Suniti has been described as having a very gentle nature, who is really compassionate, and she explains the whole incident by saying that it is indeed my misfortune that the king doesn't like me the way he likes Suruchi, and this is why he wasn't able to accept you as well, and he did not allow you to sit on his lap. But then Suniti also tries to like make him feel better by saying things like you should not wish you should not wish ill on others if someone has wished ill on you. Instead, you should have compassion for them. You should be friendly to them. Uh, and this is where Suniti comes up with the idea that Dhruva should actually pray to Narayana, who is the refuge of everyone who is unhappy, who is suffering from something. And he is definitely going to help Dhruva come out of this misery that he's feeling. So Smriti says that you have to like chant his name regularly, see his form at all places, and then you will be rid of this unhappiness. So Dhruva was bent on doing this. He understood what his mother was saying, and but then he did not know a way like how Narayana can be worshipped, how he should be approached, what is the method of worship, and such things. So all of this was witnessed by Narada. So Narada obviously has just one aim. He keeps roaming from one place to another with the only intention of helping mankind. So he sees Dhruva and he comes to his presence, and so basically he uh, he comes to Dhruva, and Dhruva worships him as is necessary when like a great personality like Narada visits your comes to your presence. Then Narada starts by saying that first he actually discourages Dhruva from undergoing this extreme tapasya to attain the Lord. He says that you are just 5 years old, and this is not the age to be insulted by bad behavior or someone who has been unjust to you. And this is your age to where you can actually where you should actually be playing with toys and enjoying your life basically. He says that good, bad, and all such things are results of one's actions, and only God's grace can be only God's grace is needed to actually get rid of the unhappiness that results from the actions. Then he also mentions how it is very hard to actually impress Narayana or make him come to your presence. He says that many rishis or yogis have actually tried to do so, but they have failed even after uh, performing tapasya for many years, even after performing tapasya janma after janma. So um, at first, this is what Narada said. Then he was also highlighting another challenge where he says that to do this, to go on this path, a great amount of concentration, sacrifice, detachment, and patience is required. And even then, Narayana can be very hard to find. So this is where Narada then says, please give up and don't be childish. Uh, there is a age in the human life where he's meant to do penance, and that is the old age. So then he says that God has ordained or has assigned a certain part of one's life to actually uh, be happy, and then certain part of the life has been ordained to like um, go through some sort of sorrows. So Narada then says that you should not go against the laws of nature, the laws that the gods have laid out. And then this is how he tried to persuade Dhruva to actually not perform tapasya because of all these reasons. And then he specifically refers to the situation that Dhruva went through by saying the following. So he says that when you see someone who is more fortunate than you, you should not be jealous of this person, but then you should show him affection. And then if you see someone who is actually who does not have all the good qualities that you are having, you should not be angry at them, but you should be having pity towards this person. And if there is someone who is at the same level as you, who is having the equal qualities, equal behavior, you should try to be friends with them. So these are the different ways in which Narada used to actually persuade Dhruva to not do this tapasya. So Dhruva, on the other hand, was really adamant. Dhruva says that I'm sure whatever you're saying, it all makes sense, but your words are not reaching the inside of my heart. So please have pity on my ignorance and please let me perform this tapas. Please help me understand the ways how I can approach the Lord, how I can reach Him. I want to ask the Lord that I want a state that is higher than the highest, and I want the Lord to grant me that. Since it is your purpose to wander all over the universe and help those who are in need of help, I sincerely request you to please help me in this. So now Narada was charmed by his sweetness, the innocence in Dhruva's intentions, and he decides to help Dhruva to achieve what he's trying to achieve here. So the method of worship that has been described here is Narada says that pray to him, set your mind steadfastly on him, have his image in your heart, and then your desire will be granted. Here, then he explains how he should picture Narayana in his heart, what are his physical forms, and like what kind of jewelry he wears. He describes about the Srivatsa mark on his chest, the jewel Kaustubha that always adorns Narayana, and how he is always to be visioned as lying on the great serpent Ananta. And then he also suggests a place where he can go to perform this tapasya. He suggests that he should go to Madhuvana, which is situated at the banks of Yamuna, and it is said that the Lord is ever present there. He says that Dhruva should bathe in the sacred waters of Yamuna 3 times a day, and then he should only set his mind on the form of the Lord, and to summon the Lord, he should basically be saying the prayer Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, which basically means I bow down to you, Bhagavan Vasudev. The word Vasudev has multiple meanings. One of the meanings that I have found in various other contexts is that Vasudev means the supreme being who has permeated everything there is. So he then asks him to constantly repeat the mantra, and then your desire will be granted. So this process here has been described as Bhakti Yoga by Narada, and is also said to be the best of all yogas, and which is also very dear to Narayana. So as soon as the form of the Lord is described by Narada, Dhruva starts forming his image in his heart, and he soon finds out that there is nothing in his mind or heart that is there apart from Narayana. He was able to picture the Lord lying on the great snake Ananta, and then he was able to see that Lord has always has that compassionate smile on his lips, and he was also able to see the lotus sprouting out of the Lord's navel, from where Brahma was born. So this is how then he starts beginning his tapas. In the first month of his tapas, Dhruva only survives on fruits and nothing else. In the second month, he ate grass. In the third month, he only consumed water. And in the fourth month, it has been described that Dhruva gave up all food and water. He was only consuming the air. So, um, due to his tapasya, a large amount of energy was generated, and somehow it became very hard for everyone in all the three worlds to even breathe properly. We have seen in other stories as well, when someone performs such like strong tapasya, who is so bent on performing tapasya, um, the devatas find it troublesome. Indradev has been described to be afraid of people performing tapasya, because he has a fear in his mind that they might be after his Indrasana. So, and also it was getting hard for other beings to breathe and lead their life properly. So, the devatas decided to actually break his tapasya, and they keep sending various distractions, various evil spirits to his presence. But Dhruva was basically in a state of samadhi, and he wasn't even aware that someone has been sent to break his tapasya or disturb him. So whatever they tried, it did not work. Then the devatas went to the presence of Narayana, and they worshipped him as if they are supposed to, and they prayed to him that due to the tapasya of Dhruva, it has become really difficult for all beings in the universe to even breathe properly. They are struggling to stay alive. Please help us in this predicament. And Narayana, which is infinite mercy, he decides to help them. He says that this is because of the unmatched devotion of my bhakta. I'll go to his presence, and I'll make sure that his tapasya is stopped. So then Narayana goes to his presence, and then as soon as he reaches there, Dhruva finds out that the image of the Lord that he has been viewing in his mind, it suddenly has vanished. Then Dhruva is made to come out of his samadhi, and he views the Lord in the exact same form that was described by Narada earlier. So now it has been said that he was like, his eyes were full of tears, he was crying endlessly. He rushed to hug Narayana, and then he tried to come up with the appropriate words that can be used in praise of the Lord, but he was struggling to come up with any words at all. So Narayana understood what was going on in his bhakta's mind. So he touches his bhakta's cheek with his conch. So in Bhagavatam, it has been said that the conch is the personification of all Vedas, and as soon as he touches it, uh, it is said that Dhruva's ignorance, like whatever ignorance he has, it all went away. He was enlightened, and he was suddenly full of words of praise for Narayana, and he knew the right words to use to actually worship him, respect him. So Dhruva says this. Uh, I thank you, Lord, for giving me the power to speak. You understood that I was struggling, and thanks to your mercy, now I know exactly what to say. So you are the all-pervasive Lord who has permeated all the Indriyas, who is the Lord of all the Indriyas, and you are the one who gives them life. You are the reason for the existence of the three gunas, tamas, rajas, sattva, and you are the one who is also responsible for Maya. Then he says that people who are not aware of this, people who do not see you behind all of this, they see the Maya to be different as you, the Supreme Being. So people keep running after materialistic desires, and they even end up worshipping you in an attempt to fulfill their materialistic desires. And Dhruva says that he has pity on all those beings because uh, they do not know exactly the truth that is behind you, that you are the one who is the reason behind everything. And he says that ignorant men worship you for this, for the fulfillment of materialistic desires. And he wonders, how can a man not ask for moksha and just run after materialistic desires? He then compares the practice of bhakti yoga, the acts of thinking of him, relating his stories, and constantly meditating on him. He says that this bhakti yoga is actually superior to Brahmi state. Uh, so what we mean by Brahmi state is that it is a state where the man is aware that the Jivatma and the Paramatma are the same. So Dhruva says that like knowing the Lord, thinking of him, relating his stories to other bhaktas is actually greater than Brahmi state. And then he asks Narayana that I only want one thing from you, and that is I want to think of you day and night. I want to I want to be in the company of your bhaktas at all times, and uh, I want to reach you eventually. Then Narayana says that I know why you have taken up this great penance, and I will grant you what you desire. I'll grant you a place which is higher than the highest, and this will be a place which will be circumambulated by the sun, the moon, the stars, and even the Saptarishis. He then orders Dhruva to rule the kingdom after his father has stepped down from the throne. And then he says that as you have desired, you will be always in the company of my bhaktas. You will be a very just ruler, and you will be greatest among men. And after that, you will exit the earth, and you will come to me, is what he says. Then Narayana vanishes from the presence of Dhruva, and Dhruva, in his mind, he tries to relive everything that happened in the past few moments. He tried to relive all the conversation that he had with the Lord, and he had a doubt in his mind that whether he has done the wrong thing by actually not asking directly for moksha, and so he had his doubt. Then, on the other hand, in the kingdom of Uttanapada, his father was actually feeling very guilty, very sorrowful because of the way that he treated his son. And he is then visited by Narada, and Narada sees his father and asks him, like, has there any problem that has come upon your kingdom? Why are you looking so sad, and why are you uh, mm, why have you been sad for some time now? And then the king says that I have been really unjust to my son. All he wanted was to play with me and sit on my lap, but I was really cruel that I even denied him that. Uh, this is because of my love that I have for Suruchi that made me do this. How can I do this? And now he has gone to the forest, and he must be wandering there alone, all alone. And there is a chance that he might be attacked by wolves, or some other wild animal might um, attack him and make him their food. So now Narada comforts the king, saying that please do not worry about your son. Your son is in the protection of Narayana himself, and he will be known as the greatest of men. There will be like no one equal to him, and very soon he'll be returning to the kingdom. Mm. And then when Dhruva returns, so by this time, everyone who were like unjust, cruel to Dhruva earlier, they have all realized their mistakes. So the king, the queen, Suruchi, and his mother, Suniti, they were all really overcome with great amount of emotions to when they saw Dhruva returning to the kingdom. They were all really eager to hug him, ask him about his well-being, and they were all very welcoming. So Dhruva proceeds to rule the kingdom when he gets old enough, and then and after his father retires to the forest to perform penance, that is when Dhruva becomes the king. And as uh, as it was said by Narayana earlier, Dhruva actually becomes a great king, and he gets to spend a lot of time with bhaktas and relating the stories of the Lord to them, hearing about the glories of the Lord from the bhaktas. And then it is said that he has ruled the kingdom for 30,000 years. And after that, when the time was right, Dhruva always has had this um, always had Narayana's order in his mind that after this amount of time, you will be able to reach the position that you have always desired. So after 30,000 years, he decides to give up his throne to his son, and he moves to Badrikashrama to perform tapas. This is when he decides that he can actually abandon his body and wait for the Lord to receive him. So one day, when he was performing his penance, divine beings who were all like servants of Narayana, they come to receive him, and they remind him of what was promised by Narayana to Dhruva all those years ago. So they said him that you will be a star, the constant star, and it will be this star. With this star, you will be attaining a position that is higher than the highest, and nobody in the entire existence will have a higher position than you, apart from the Lord Himself. So then the uh, divine beings continue by saying that we will be circumambulated by the sun, the moon, the stars, and even the seven rishis. All of these great rishis or other great personalities will be desirous to reach a position that is similar to yours, but they will fail to do so. And then, so they take him in their chariot to the position that has been assigned to him, and this is also exactly the moment when death approaches Dhruva, and death actually bows down to him and requesting him to um, accept him. So Dhruva accepts death as well, and then after that, he gets the position that was promised to him, like, by Narayana. So that basically concludes the story. This is this is the story that we have in our Srimad Bhagavatam by Kamala Subramaniam, which is a summarized version of the entire Bhagavatam text that we have. Yeah.
Very good. Wonderful narration, Suman. That was very nice. So what we can do now is we'll just go through the shlokas from the actual Vyasa Bhagavatam, and I will still need help from the translation because some of the shlokas are not that easy to understand directly, and so we will definitely kind of seek help from the translation. And I think this compilation seems to be very good. It seems to be done by ISKCON, and understandably there will be mention of Krishna as the name for Parabrahman, but otherwise the rest of the text is, of course, Narayana would be the name we would normally be using. So let's see what I think. I can see that the narration is actually very true to the Vyasa Bhagavatam. So Kamala Subramaniam has done a very good job in translating it and also presenting it so concisely. So just a minute, please. Yeah. Okay, so this is chapter 8 of they call it cantos 4 and chapter 8. We actually go all the way to shloka number 9, I think. 8. जाये उत्तानपादस्य सुनीतिः सुरुचिस्तयोः सुरुचिः प्रेयसी प्रत्युर्नेतरा यत्सुतो ध्रुवः. We don't need to go through these every translation, but wherever it is important, we'll just go through. Ekadasurucheh putram ekamaropya lalayan uttamam naru rukshantam dhruvam raja bhyanandata. So this is all about the initial part of the story where they're fighting to get onto the land. तथा चिकीर्षमाणं तु मानं तं सपत्न्यास्तनयं ध्रुवं सुरुचिशृण्वतो राज्ञः शेर्ष्यमाहति गर्विता नवत्सनृपतेर्धीष्ण्यं भवानारोढुमर्हति न गृहीतो मया यत्त्वं कुक्षावपि नृपात्मजः बालोऽसि बत नात्मानम् अन्यस्त्रीगर्भसंवृतं नूनं वेद भवान् यस्य दुर्लभेऽर्थे मनोरथः. So here by now Suruchi is basically saying to Dhruva, you are unfortunate to have been born to some other woman and not to me, and therefore you are not eligible to get on to the lap of the king.
You are not born out of my womb, she says.
Yeah. And this is now where it is an important shlokam. तपस्याराध्य पुरुषं तस्यैवानुग्रहेण मे गर्भे त्वं साधयात्मानं यदीच्छसि नृपासनम्. So here Suruchi is basically instructing Dhruva in arrogance, of course, but she's given the right kind of fuel to Dhruva, saying, if you really so wish to sit on the lap of the king, and for that you should be eligible to be doing so only through being born to my womb, through my womb, and for that do a lot of tapas and be born in my womb, and then for that you need to pray to the Lord. So tapasyaradhya purusham. So here purusham is the word used. Purusham is the prathama purusha, the mahapurusha or the Brahman. Tasya eva anugrahena, with only his anugraha, may to me you will be born. May mama garbhe tvam sadhayatmanam yadi ichhasi nrupasanam. If you so wish to get the asanam of the king. So that is an important instigator. That is the trigger. In fact, this is a much bigger trigger than even the mother telling him to go and do the penance. I think the ego was hurt so badly that Dhruva basically kind of wanders around, and maybe that is the reason why he is able to, at such a young age, do an intense penance as well. If not, if he was not hurt so badly.
He tells that to Narada also, that his stepmother insulted him.
Yeah. Maitreya uvacha मातुः सपत्न्या सधुरुक्तिविद्धः श्वसन् रुषा दण्डहतो यथा हित्वा मिषन्तं पितरं सन्नवाचं जगाममातुः प्ररुदन् सकाशम्. मातुः सपत्न्याः धुरुक्तिविद्धः. So with the mother, which mother? The mother obviously of the stepmother. So the duruktihi, the kind of harsh words that she had said. Shwasan rusha dandahataha yata ahihi. Ahihi is a snake. If a snake is hit by a stick, the way it hisses, that is how he was hissing. So you can see that actually Dhruva, unlike it is portrayed in movies and so on, where he gently goes away and so on, that's not the case. He's actually hissing in a lot of anger. He was so badly hurt mentally. He was breathing heavily and he was hissing like a snake as if it was hit by a stick. Hitva mishantam pitaram sannavacham. So here the father was sitting silently and he was upset with that also. Jaga amamatuh prarudan sakasham. He then went to his mother's presence. Tam nishvasantam spuritadharoshtam sunitirutsanga uduhya balam nishamya tat paurusha mukhannitantam savivyathe yadgaditam sapatnya. So basically, it's just a continuation of what Suman was saying, that he went, cried in presence of his mother Suniti. Sotsrujya dhairyam vilalapa shoka davagnina davalateva bala vakyam sapatnyaha smarati saroja shriya drisha bashpa kalamuvaha dirgham swasantī vrijinasya param apashyati balakamaha bala Mamangalam tata pareshu manstha bhungte jano yat parudhukkadastata yat paradhukkadastat. So, what is she saying here? This is also an important lesson. Basically, she is saying, so dirgham swashanti vrijinasya param apashyati balakam aha bala. Bala here refers to Suniti, the lady. Balam refers to Dhruva. So she basically was telling him Amangalam Tata. Tata basically refers to father or a dear one. Hey Tata, Pareshu Mamstha Amangalam. Don't say anything inauspicious to anybody else, because in this anger, you may be saying something, you may be wishing ill health or inauspicious things to others. What does it do at the end? It only inflicts pain. Anyone who inflicts pain upon others suffers himself from that pain. So it's a lesson a mother is teaching a very young boy, because in that anger, he may be developing a lot of bitterness. So that's only going to hurt him while he wants to hurt others. Satyam suruchya vihitam bhavan me yaddurбhagaya udare grihitaha स्तन्येन वृद्धश्च विलज्जते यां भार्येति वा बोढुम् idaspatirmam. Here she is referring to her misfortune, because the king actually doesn't even treat her like a wife. I think in the text it says even he doesn't treat like a maid. So if that is the case, then what is the prospect that you will be taken care of? So that's the problem. The reason why you are not being treated properly is because in the first place, I myself am not treated well. Atishthatattata vimatsarastvam uktam samatrapi yadavyalīkam आराधयादोक्षज पादपद्मं यदीच्छसे अध्यासनमुत्तमो यथा. Here she agrees. She agrees to Suruchi's words. Atishtha tat tata vimatsarastvam uktam samatrapi. Samatra means stepmother, equal mother. Samatra api yad avyalīkam uktam. So basically, whatever she has said, vimatsarastvam, without any jealousy. Atishtha, go and just execute. Atishtha here refers to execute. Aradhaya adhokshacha padapadmam. So go and worship that Lord who is described as Adhokshaja Padapadmam, the Pada, the lotus-feeted one. Adhokshaja means, what does it mean here? Adhokshaja, the transcendence. The one who is transcendent, the lotus feet, go and worship it. Yadi Ichchasi, if only you wish to. Adhyasanam uttamaha yatha. If only you wish to be seated along with your stepbrother. Uttama is his name, right? Uttamaha yatha. So just as if you so wish to. So again, here there is it's almost like it's a materialistic wish. So let us not kind of deceive ourselves by thinking that Dhruva is kind of going ahead with a very spiritual reason for tapas. No, not at all. It is a very materialistic wish out of anger, out of a desire to be welcomed by his father. And maybe that is the reason why at a later time, he says he wants a position higher than the highest. In a way, it's almost like saying, I want to prove a point. यस्याङ्घ्रिपद्मं परिचर्य विश्व विभावनायात्त गुणाभिपत्तेः अजोऽध्यतिष्ठत् खलु पारमेष्ठ्यं पदं जितात्मा श्वसनाभिवन्द्यम्. What is happening here? So Suniti basically described that it is by worshipping this all-pervasive divine that Lord Brahma himself has developed the qualities. He is the one who created the universe and so on. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Anupana garu, మీరు ఏం చెప్తున్నారు?
Brahma himself has got below feet of the God to attain what he is now. Yeah. So you too should do it. He will grant.
Yeah. तथा मनुर्वो भगवान् पितामहो यमेकमत्या पुरुदक्षिणैर्मुखैः इष्ट्वाभिपेदे दुरवापमन्यथो भौमं सुखं दिव्यमतापवर्ग्यम्. Okay, so here I think she's describing the various people who have worshipped him. Tatha Manuhu va, Manu also worshipped Bhagavan Pitamaha, the Brahma himself. Yam Ekamatya Puruhu, Ekamatya, with one focal point, basically they focused upon. Puru also worshipped. Then who else? Yeah, I think those are the various people. So Swayambhuva Manu, then Brahma, of course, and then Puru, they all worshipped him and they achieved great material happiness as well as liberation at the end, which is impossible to obtain by worshipping the demigod. So I think it's important to start differentiating that the devatas are all manifest and therefore they do not have the same omnipresence as the ultimate divine would do. So worshipping devatas will only, as we know from Bhagavad Gita, worshipping devatas will only take us to their planes or to their lokas, but worshipping the ultimate divine Brahman would take us to that plane where we call it moksha. Tameva vatsashraya bhrutya vatsalam mumukshubher mrugya padabja paddatim ananya bhave nija dharma bhavite manasyavasthapya bhajasva purusham. So essentially she's just basically instructing Dhruva to go and worship the Lord. Nanyam tatah padmapalashalocanat dukkachidam te mrugayami kanchana yo mrugyate hastagruhita padmaya shriye tarairanga vimrughyamanaya. Remember?
Catch his feet so that with your hands, so that he'll help you cross.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, it's a continuation of her instruction to him. Maitreya uvacha evam sanchalpitam matuhu आकर्ण्यार्थागमं वचः सन्नियम्यात्मनात्मानं निश्चक्राम पितुः पुरात्. Now Dhruva left his father's place. Evam sanjalpitam, nicely instructed by Matuhu. Akarnyarthagamam vachaha, the kind of words which ought to be heard. Sanniyamya atmana atmanam, having controlled himself, using himself, atma. What is himself? His mind and his intellect, having controlled. Sanniyamya nishchakrama pituh purat, he left his father's place or abode.
With conviction. He left with conviction.
Okay.
Chakrama.
Naradas tadupakarnya jnatva tasya chikirshitam sprishtva murdhanya ghagnena panina praha vismitaha. Narada already enters into the scene because from a cosmic point of view, he was able to understand what was happening. So Narada is already there in the picture. But obviously Narada needs to test the child's resolve. Aho teja kshatriyanam manabhangam amrushyatam balopyayam hrida dhatte yatsamaturasadzvachaha. Aho tejaha kshatriyanam. So it's actually praising the kshatriya, their own mindset. Manabhangam amrushyatam. Manabhangam, bhangam of the mana. Mana means here their prestige. So the prestige has been, once it is kind of affected, they look at the tejas of them, look at their kind of possibly their aura. They don't like it to be affected. Even if it is a bala, balaha api ayam hrida datte yatsamatur asadvachaha. Asat here basically is something which was not desirable. Unpalatable is the word here, description given. So having said that, he wants to now, he speaks to Dhruva. Narada uvacha नाधुनाप्यवनानाधुनापि avamanam te sammanam vapi putraka lakshayamah kumarasya tasya kridanadishu na adhuna api avamanam te sammanam vapi putraka. Hey putraka, hey son, oh son. Whether it is sammanam or apamanam or avamanam, both should not be lakshayamaha. Vayam na lakshayamaha. We should not care for them. Whether it is your praise towards you or whether it is an insult towards you, you should not care for them. Kumarasya saktasya kridanadishu ruchihi avashyakam is what we can add. So for children, playing games and so on, sports and playing games is where their interest should be, not in these kind of praises and insults. विकल्पे विद्यमानेऽपि न ह्यः सन्तोषहेतवः पुंसो मोहमृते भिन्ना यल्लोके निजकर्मभिः विकल्पे विद्यमानेऽपि. Okay, we'll see the text basically. So my dear Dhruva, if you feel that your sense of honor has been insulted, you still have no cause for dissatisfaction. This kind of dissatisfaction is another feature of the illusory energy. Every living entity is controlled by his previous action, and therefore there are different varieties of life for enjoying and suffering. It's a bit of a heavy lesson for Dhruva. Basically, he's saying, irrespective of whether you've been insulted or praised, at the end of the day, it is nothing but a result of your own karmic actions from previously, and it is illusory. परितुष्येत ततस्तात तावान्मात्रेण पूरुषः दैवोपसादितं यावत् ईक्षेश्वरगतिं बुधः. We'll see again. परितुष्ये तातः ताता ततः ताता तावान matreena purusha.
Satisfaction.
Whatever your mother was saying, tavan matreena purusha, about the purusha. I think we'll just go through, because if only we have a lot of time, we can go word by word. But the process of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very wonderful. One who is intelligent should accept that process and be satisfied with whatever comes, favorable or unfavorable.
Be satisfied with whatever comes.
Yeah. Atha matropadišthena yogena avarurutsasi yat prasadam savai pumsam duraradhyo mato mama. Atha matro upadishtena. Again, just as your mother has advised, yogena avarurutsasi. Avarurutsasi is an interesting word here. What does it mean? If only you want to elevate yourself. Yat prasadam saha vaipumsam duraradhyaha mataha mama. It is not going to be easy for you. Duraradhyaha mataha mama. My opinion, mataha, my abhiprayaha, is that it's going to be very difficult for you to perform that kind of penance, whatever your mother has instructed you to do. Munayah padavim yasya nissangenororujanmabihi navidhur mrukayantopi tivrayoga samadhina. Even the munis who have their own paths, yasya munayah padavim nissangena uru janmabihi. Uru here basically means utkrishta, the best. Even those who had the best janmas. Oh, uru here means many births. Okay.
Many births.
Na viduhu. Even they would not know. Mrugayantaha api. Even after their various efforts to discover how Tevra Yoga Samadhina, even with severe states of penance or samadhi states. If for them itself it is so difficult, how about you? Forget about your penance, it's not going to be easy.
ఇక్కడ మృగయ అంటే ఇల్యూషన్ కూడా కదండి. మృగయ
మృగయాంత. Mragaya is an illusion. Yes, you are right. But here it is mentioned as searching for Mragayantaha. Mragaya, it also refers to hunting.
Searching.
So in a way, Raja, when he goes out to hunt, he also says, I'm going on, what is it? It's not exactly Mragaya, but it comes under it's a very similar kind of expression.
In search of any.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not getting the right word. Hunting also refers to a very similar word. Ato nirvartatam esha nirbandhastava nishphalaha yatishyati bhavan kale shreyasa samupasthite. Ato nivartatam esha nirbandha tava nishphalaha yatishyati bhavan kale shreyasam samupasthite. Again, he's basically trying to dissuade him. Nirbandha tava nishphalaha. This is fruitless action. Nirbandha, your determination. Your determination is fruitless. Nishphalaha. Nivartatam. Nivartatam is a verb. So it refers to just stop yourself. Yadi yatishyati, if you only kind of in future, bhavan yatishyati.
Bhavan kale.
Bhavan kale yatishyati. In time, if you wish to make another effort, shreyasam samupasthite. Maybe you will get a better opportunity, is what Narada is saying. Perhaps with maturity, you may be able to perform these austerities better. Yasya yadhaiva vihitam saha tena sukha dukkhayoho atmanam toshayan dehi tapasah paramruchati. Daiva vihitam saha tena sukha dukkhayoho. All these are basically daiva vihitam. Atmanam toshayan dehi tapasaha param richati. Crosses. Richati here means crosses. What crosses? Your dehi dehaha. Dehi here refers to the one who is wearing the deha or the atma. So we'll see what is written here. One should try to keep himself satisfied in any condition of life, whether distress or happiness which is offered by the supreme will. A person who endures in this way is able to cross over the darkness very easily, of nescience very easily. So this material world can be crossed. Richati. Richati is a word used in Bhagavad Gita also. I can't remember the shloka there.
Param richati.
So yes, yeah. So basically, it is again a good lesson of endurance, because we are going back to the original instruction by Narada to Dhruva, saying, look, you are a kid, and insults or honor should be taken in stride. Just go and play, enjoy your age. In similar fashion, he's basically saying, he also said that those honors or insults are also a result of karma phala. Whatever has happened in the past, the result is showing now. So that is another explanation he has given. And the third thing he's basically saying is develop endurance. Because there is a reason why you are born in certain circumstances and you're experiencing certain things in your life at this point of time. So if that is the case, that is all Daiva Vihitam. It's basically karmic again. Daiva Vihitam here means karmic. So therefore, your sukha or dukkha are already decided. All you need to do is endure. So he's teaching a lesson of endurance. Endure them, and gradually you will be able to cross over the material world. Gunadhikan mudam lipset anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanadan vichet natapairabhibhuyate.
ఇదే కదా పెట్టారు మీరు.
This is the one Suman was referring to in his narration as well earlier. So there are three things that we should be doing. Gunadhikan mudam lipset anukrosham gunadhamat. So the one who has guna adhikam gunam, one who is more bestowed with better qualities. Mudam lipset, we should be happy. Possibly, the happiness is only going to lead us to humility of learning from those people. When we accept that we are learning from somebody, we are letting go of that barrier where I say to myself, I know everything. What am I going to learn from this chap? So we are crossing that and we are accepting that there is a level of ignorance. The very fact that somebody else knows better automatically makes me ignorant. So if I'm accepting the ignorance, I'm actually treating that person with a lot of respect and learning with happiness. Anukrosham gunadhamat. The one who has lesser qualities, there you are not looking down on them. Instead, you are compassionate. And when you are compassionate, you are treating them also with respect, but with an understanding that they need to be treated affectionately. So here the daya, guna, compassion, all those things are coming into play. Maitrim samanadhanvichet. So in those who are equal to us, are we able to identify in these three? Yes, obviously we are able to identify. It doesn't take much time for us to identify with the way they talk or the way they kind of express their ideas or actions. We would be able to know for sure which category a person belongs to. So if somebody is kind of similar to me, I'm actually developing a friendly attitude towards them. Okay. Dhruva uvacha soyam shamo bhagavata sukhadukkhahatatmanam darshitah kripaya pumsam durdarshosmad vidhaistuyah
अस्मात्
सह अयम शमः भगवता सुखदुःखहतात्मनां दर्शितः कृपया पुंसां Durdarshaha asmat vidhaihi tu yaha. A little difficult to understand. We'll just go. First, words can be split, but meaning is not always quickly understandable. So, my dear Lord Narada, for a person whose heart is disturbed by material conditions of happiness and distress, whatever you have so kindly explained for peace of mind is certainly a good instruction, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm covered by ignorance, and this kind of philosophy does not touch my heart. In the explanation here, as well as in Kamala Subramaniam, it's mentioned that because he has a Kshatriya kind of quality and not necessarily a Brahmana quality. A Brahmana here necessarily means that one who is tuned towards austerities and in search of the divine, there is a level of understanding that they may be already developed, they may have developed already. So, to them, such instructions such as talking about karma or endurance and so on and so forth may make it easy for them to understand. So, Kshatriya here, who has um, possibly the approach towards duties where they are action oriented and have to live in the material world. So that is one of the explanations given, which is that perhaps Narada needs to change the way he addresses, suiting the Kshatriya qualities. Of course, very humbly, Dhruva said, it is my ignorance. अथापि मे विनीतस्य क्षात्रं घोरमुपेयुषः सुरुच्या दुर्वचो बाणैः न भिन्ने श्रयते हृदि. Yeah, I think there is a mention here of kshatram. Kshatram ghoram upeyushaha. Athapi, even so, or thereafter, therefore, he says, even so, mama, my avinitasya, not very submissive kshatram. So, kshatra gunam is not submissive, is what he is saying. And on top of it, my stepmother's durvachanam, banai, like arrows, basically pierced my heart, and they are there still. Shrayate, remain in my heart. So he's so badly wounded, he's unable to accept the teachings so far. Very important lesson. The reason being, a lot of us, for me, one of the qualities which we should let go is pretense. Pretending as if I am not hurt is the biggest lie. That lie, if it is entertained, we will never make progress. So to be able to accept that I am hurt doesn't make you less spiritual. At the end of the day, we are all mortals, where we are going to experience the ups and downs, the insults and praises. The very fact that this is a human life and not a Daivik life means that there's a lot of Purva Janma Vasana going on. So if so, all these are expected troubles to come, and not just troubles to come, the way we respond also can be frustrating for a spiritual seeker. So we want to be a spiritual seeker, but we are unable to get a grip of handling situations. And in an effort to be called spiritual, recognized as spiritually evolving, we end up in a state of pretense, pretending that I am not jealous, pretending I am not hurt, pretending I am not insulted. It will not lead us anywhere. So therefore here Dhruva is nicely accepting that I am still hurt and you're giving me all these lectures. Doesn't make any difference to me. Padam.
But he is not responding any overtly. He is not having any emotional overt responses. That is important there. Suppose.
Why is it relevant?
He is calmly telling Narada that he is hurt. As a child or as an adult, we many times respond in a very overt manner by facial expression or action or words. That he is not doing. He says he is hurt.
Yeah. So maybe we should stop here. We won't be able to complete this chapter anyway. So we'll do one more sloka and maybe stop. Padam tribhuvanotkrishtam jigisho sadhu vartmame bruhyasmat pitrabhir brahman nanyairabhyanidha. Wait a minute. Bruhyasmat pitrabhir brahman Nanyayirabhi anadhishtitam. Okay, I had to split it for me to.
Anairyapi.
Anyairapi.
Anyairapi.
Bruhi asmat.
Pitruhu.
Just a minute, please. Bruhi asmat pitrubihi brahman na anyairapi anadhishtitam. So anyway, so we'll just look at the text. O learned Brahmana, I want to occupy a position more exalted than any yet achieved. So this is coming from a place of anger. This is coming from a place of pride being destroyed or insulted, where he wants to prove a point. So by no means should we conclude that Dhruva came to worship Bhagavan out of spiritual progress as a goal. It is for a material goal. We are by no means accepting this to be the right goal at all. This is not the goal. This is not the dhyaya a sadhaka should have in worshipping the divine, as is clearly narrated in Bhagavad Gita, because that will only lead us back, take us back into this material world in another life. In fact, it is sakama karma. There is a result-oriented desire. In fact, we have to practice nishkama karma. So, Dhruva is not teaching us any lesson by now. Not at all. Lessons are not learned in this way. We actually look at the entire journey. It reminds us of who we are. Sometimes the lessons are about who I am as a human. Sometimes the lessons from Bhagavatam are who I should become, who I really am as the Atman, and who I am right now as a conscious human body. So, and how do I deal with this kind of dilemma? how do I treat my human role with various dharmic principles, and how do I stay focused on the understanding that I am the Atman in search of my journey back home to be in a state of oneness. So this is where we can stop for now. We'll have a bit of discussion if need be. Right. Skanda shloka number also. Fourth skanda and eighth chapter, Sairam Garu. Currently we are doing that. Okay, Suman, what do you think? How did we do so far today?
Yeah, I think it was good. Like relating stories of the Lord has been described as a way to practice Bhakti Yoga. So I think on that front we definitely made progress, and I'm happy and that you gave me the opportunity to narrate the story.
Yeah, your narration was very, very good. Thank you so much. Annapurna Garu, what do you say? How are we utilizing the time?
Bagundi, it's good. Suman has very well summarized the story of Dhruva, and you have given us the meanings of the Sanskrit meaning, the translation also. Now, if we are, there are two ways of reading Bhagavatam. The summary of the story is one way. The second way is understanding the Sanskrit which is there in Vyasa Bhagavatam. What I have been doing is sit with the Vedabhya base Srimad Bhagavatam, same website.
You have been reading this in the past.
I have been reading, and many times writing down the meaning of particular words as we are reading it. That gives us more understanding, because అలా చదువుకొని వెళ్ళిపోతే it doesn't make any sense. So
maybe once we complete Dhruva, then Annapurna Garu, you can share another story or segment from Bhagavatam. And then we can go through that. Yeah. Sairam Garu, మీరేమంటారు?
నమస్కారం అండి.
నమస్కారం.
నా దగ్గర ఈ భాగవతం బుక్ కొని ఇంచుమించు 3 సంవత్సరాల దగ్గర అయ్యింది.
వ్యాస
ఆలోచన వ్యాస భారతం
భాగవతం
వ్యాస భాగవతం గీత సంస్కృత పద్యాలతో పాటు ఉంటుంది, కానీ ఏ రోజు కూడా తీసే ఆలోచన రాలేదు. ఈ రోజు కొన్నాను కానీ శ్రీనివాస్ గారి పుణ్యం అని చెప్పి ఈ రోజు మొదటిసారి పుస్తకం ఓపెన్ చేశారు.
మంచిదే కదా. సో మీరు వ్యాసుడు అయిపోతున్నారు మెల్లిగాను. వ్యాస భాగవతం ఉంది మీ దగ్గర, వ్యాస భారతం కూడా ఉంది.
అది కూడా శ్రీనివాస్ గారి దయ వల్ల.
సరే, అయితే సంతోషం. అయితే ముగిద్దామని నేను యాక్చువల్లీ మర్చిపోయాను, నేను వెళ్ళాలి, సంస్కృత భారతి మీటింగ్ ఏదో ఉంది. ఓకే, విల్ మీట్ అప్ అగైన్ నెక్స్ట్ సాటర్డే. I'll tell the time. Maybe it's actually 8:30 would be a suitable time. We'll just stick to 8:30.
8:30 అంటే మీరు 4 గంటలు, మీకు 4 గంటల అక్కడ?
నేను ఇండియాలో ఉన్నాను. ఢిల్లీలో ఉంటాను వచ్చే శనివారం, అదొకసారి చూస్తాను. బట్ ఎనీవే, విచ్ ఎవర్ వే, I think we should be able to meet. Okay?
Morning times కొంచెం we should stick to our times in the morning.
ఓకే, ఉంటాను. సర్వే భవంతు సుఖినః, సర్వే సంతు నిరామయాః, సర్వే భద్రాణి పశ్యంతు, మా కశ్చిద్ దుఃఖభాగ్ భవేత్. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Right.
Then,
Please
Hari
do
Om.
share your experience in our groups so that others may be interested in joining. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Namaste.